Hey, this is Steve Keys here with Keller Williams Capital District in upstate New York, and here we are going to do how to set up your KW agent website. So this is step one. You haven't done anything at all with your website. You haven't turned it on, you haven't activated it, you haven't done nothing. This is step one of setting up your agent website. When I go through this, I am from upstate New York. There is naturally going to be some compliance things that come up in this video. Um, as I said, I am from upstate New York, so make sure you check what is compliant in your market center for what you have to do. This video is designed for my market center, but you may not be from my market. You may have stumbled across this video not being from my market center. Just make sure that you are doing whatever is compliant with your market center. All right, so we will get started. So first thing, there is I think still there's a glitch right now in the system. Well, maybe right now. There was a glitch 2 days ago in the system. I don't believe it's been fixed, but I cannot check. This glitch only affects people who have not set up their website at all prior to the launch of the consumer app. So today is March 1st, the consumer app has launched at Family Reunion. If you did not set up your site prior to the launch of the consumer app, you are going to encounter a glitch somewhere in the system. So, well, you shouldn't, because I'm going to tell you how to avoid it before you even get there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here in the top right, the drop down arrow next to your picture. We're going to go to settings. Then we are going to go to connect settings, and you're going to go to your marketing profile. Now, the marketing profile has been functioning for a very long time. If you haven't set up your site, but you've been using Command at all, even if you've just been doing for contacts, someone in your market center probably bullied you into setting up your market profile back then. Do this anyway. You're going to they have changed the marketing profile a little bit. They've added some fields that they didn't have before. Not a whole lot has changed, but it's changed enough that you should go back through all of this. So everything in here, fill in as much as required, because this is all going to, you can see right up here, use my information to brand my agent site. Your agent site is going to pull the information out of your marketing profile to have it set up. Now, if you don't do this, theoretically, you can set it up in the agent site. You could have inputted everything, but now there's this glitch. So there's one field that it will not allow you to change. And this is the only way to fix it that I know of at this time. So upload your photo here, your team logo. Make sure you update all of these things. First name, last name. Your license number if it's required in your area, your professional job title. See, this is a field that was not there previously. In New York, we are required to, but we are not required to do our license. We are required to disclose our job title. So previously, we had been putting this in the agent license number since we didn't need that. But now that has changed, and if you leave it the way it is, it will not display correctly on the website. So make sure you change that. If you're on a team name, you can do that. If you're not on a team, I'm going to talk about that when we get to the website. I am not on a team. This is not my team name, but you'll see how it affects the website, which is why that is there. If you have any designations or credentials that you want to put in, your bio, your mobile phone, if you want to do that, your office phone. If you are, oh shoot, that's probably going to give me a problem, isn't it? Later on, this is not required. I wonder if this is going to let me save or not, because it's saying it's required here. Even though it's not, I don't know why it's doing that. So put your mobile phone in there. Don't put any dashes in it. Mobile phone, fax, your email, your website if you've got one, your market center brokerage, logo. Make sure you put that in there. And then insert all of this information here. Your brokerage name. Again, it's saying the office phone number is required. It's not. I'm not really. Well, it hadn't been, so I don't know why that's there now. It might not be working. I mean, like this red star might not actually mean anything. The market center address that you are actually assigned to in New York, this is the address that is on the back of your license. So on the back of your actual plastic license, it has an address on it. That is the official address that you are attached to. So insert that there. Brokerage license number, we're not required to disclose that in New York. So if you're not required to disclose it, I just wouldn't disclose it. Compliance, legal footer text. This is going to show up at the very bottom in all the tiny fine print of every page on your website. So this is basically all of the information that I'm required to disclose in New York. So I would put all of that there. In New York, we are required on our website to have a link that goes back to the brokerage website. So for Keller Williams Capital District, here is the URL for our office. The link title, that is what the consumer is actually going to see. They're going to see KWCD brokerage website, and it's going to be highlighted. It's going to have like a line in it. It's going to be obvious, oh, hey, you can click me and I do something. But that's what they're going to see. That is where it will take them. And you can add more links if you needed to add links. In New York, I don't think there's anything else we need to add. Legal footer images. So any images that you want in your legal footer, you can put them down there. And your social links. So make sure all of these are in there. These all have to say HTTPS : // or / whichever one it is. I don't know the difference. So make sure they all say HTTPS. I don't think it'll give you a problem here, but it'll give you a problem on the website. If you have any of these Facebook pixel ads, Google Analytics IDs, any of these, you can put them in there. Here is the bug. Your branded KW app link. If you don't go through your marketing profile first and you just go through and you set up your website, and you did not set it up prior to the release of the consumer app, this is the error it will give you. It will give you an error saying, hey, your KW app link needs to say HTTPS : / and you'll look at it and you'll go, it does say HTTPS : / and it will give you no ability to change it. Previous to the launch of the consumer app, it was not auto-populating that field. It was leaving it blank. So you could input your URL in there. Now it is auto-populating the URL and it's not allowing you to edit the URL, but something inside, like it's entered correctly, but something on the back end, the wires are crossed somewhere. So it's not acknowledging that it's doing it properly. So you have to do it here. You have to do it correct here. Maybe this is where it's actually pulling from. Maybe it's displaying it correctly, but it's pulling it out of your marketing profile. So you have to make sure that it's correct here. It's HTTPS : / The HTTPS is the most important part. That's the one that's going to glitch. And make sure that this is all correct. If you don't know where to get that, you can get it from your KWE Edge. And you go to Home, and you go to Agent Website Admin, and it'll bring you to here. And then you go to somewhere. Add your content. Great lead generation. Oh, here it is. Mobile, I think this is it. Mobile property search. Yes, here it is. So you go to 4.5. So add listings IDX search and then mobile property search. Here is your app URL. It doesn't change. And see, looky here. You copy and paste it. It doesn't come with the S. So when you paste it in there, you're pasting it in a way. It's not wrong. That works, but the website will not work without the S. So you can copy and paste it, and then put it back in there. You just got to make sure you got to put the S in. And then once that's done, hit save. Oh, look at that. So I'm not going to save this. Maybe we can delete that later. No, let's put this in and see what happens. Alright, so it's saved. And this button right here, this is another one. So the use my information to brand my agent site, make sure it's green. If it is green, turn it off and turn it back on, just to make sure that it actually updates. Alright. Okay, so once you have done your marketing profile, now we are going to go to the bottom left here. It's called consumer. That is going to bring us to where we do our agent site. So we're going to go to agent site pages. Now your page is not going to look exactly like this. I've already created my site, so I've already got pages here, I've already got stuff on. You're not going to see this here, you're not going to see any of that. Well, actually you might see this here, but it won't work. So from here, we're going to click on configure your site. You're going to say, I want to use the new KW agent sites. Then hit submit, which will bring you to this page here. Get started, acknowledge and continue. And then here we are for activating your site. So roughly these pages all look the same. On the right here is where you enter all the information, and the left gives you a rough preview of what your website will actually look like. I say rough because it will not actually look like what you see over here. This won't all be the exact same, but it'll look close. So as we're entering in our information here, first thing that we come to is a subdomain. So for our Play Store sites, we didn't get to pick our subdomain. We were just assigned. It was probably what our email was, unless we knew the tech person who was setting everything up and we pulled in a favor and we got them to pick whatever we wanted. But you couldn't just change it willy-nilly. Now you can. Now you can change it all willy-nilly. So I can go in here and I can do keys for your homie. No, keys for your home at kw.com. Then I just hit claim domain and it says, congratulations, you've claimed your subdomain. And if I look at my preview, there you go, my subdomain changed. So that is now my website, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to change it right back. And then I'm going to hit confirm my domain. Hey, congrats, you've claimed your subdomain, since no one claimed my name in those 15 seconds. So you can change this to whatever you want it to be. That's what it'll be, .kw.com. Now your marketing profile information. So this is basically everything that we just input. It's going to show up here. So this is all the stuff that we've already done, like I said, and here our office number isn't required. So that just must be a weird thing on the other end. So I would delete it here. In upstate New York, we're not required to display an office number anymore. Our mobile phone is fine, so long as it says it's a mobile phone. So I would just leave it as mobile phone. It says right here, no spaces or special characters, so without the dashes. So this is all the stuff that we've entered in. Now, this right here, the keys for your home, the team or business name. We're going to go to my site so I can show you what that is. So you can see down here on the preview, it says that that's where it shows up, which is true, but it does show up other places. The most important place, in my opinion, that it shows up is right here. It is the title of your menu, of your drop-down menu. So this is the drop-down menu for me to navigate to all the other pages on my website. If you do not, you're not part of a team or a business, so you leave this blank, which is fine. This will say your agent. That is what it defaults to. Your agent is the default. So that looks dumb to me. I didn't want to leave it like that. So I just picked something else that I thought would be okay there. So now team or business name, nowhere on your website is this labeled team or business name. Nowhere is it labeled team or business name. So, I mean, there are other layouts where it's clearly set up for a team. And if you put your team name there, it'll be obvious that that's what your team name is. But if you never use those layouts because you're not on a team, then it won't show there. So the most you'll see it is you'll see it right here. And that doesn't say, hey, team name is this. So no one knows. So if you've got a slogan, hey, put your slogan there. Or if you've got something else that you want on there, put that there. You can put whatever you want. Like I said, it's not labeled, so you don't have to deal with a compliance issue of saying, hey, this person saying that this is the name of their team and they're not on a team. That's not going to happen. There nowhere is it going to say that. So I picked that strictly because of the name of the menu. That was the most important thing for me. So that is why I picked what I did. So all of these other things that you already have in there, there's nothing new in here. It doesn't add any other fields that you didn't already go through in your marketing profile. It just changes the order a little bit. This is where you'd get that error. So if you hadn't fixed it right there, it would say this. You'd see HTTPS and then you'd hit save and continue. And it'd pop up a red error saying, hey, your app link needs to say HTTPS. And you're just like, it does say that. But it won't let you proceed. There's no way around it. So the only way to fix it is to do the marketing profile like we did. So once that's all in, save and continue, which like I said, it should already be there. So the only thing that I did was I deleted the office numbers that didn't need to be in there. So this next page is the style and theme of your page. So it gives you the red theme and the dark theme. And when you pick the other theme, it does absolutely nothing. So it doesn't change at all, doesn't give you any indication what it looks like. I've been told it's a little bit of a pinkish kind of red, and it's very bright. So I just took their word for it, and I went with dark theme. If we look at my website here, you can see here's gray, here's gray. These outlines might be in gray. I doubt the words are in gray. But these buttons here, so it's just a handful of buttons. Is it really noticeable? Probably not. But you'd actually have to go all the way through it. There's another place to change it later that's quicker. You don't have to go through this whole configuration Kelly guide thing. So you can just pick whichever one and you can check it later. Homepage text. This is the text that's right here. It defaults to find your dream home. So if you've got something else that you want to do there, you can put it there and you can see it changes live on the page for whatever you want to enter in. And then we scroll down here. This is scrolling, but it's going to take a while because it's got all of these pictures here. So it's loading the pictures. That's why it's taking a while to scroll. Just keep scrolling, it'll work. So these are right there. You just caught it. You saw the picture change. So it's a fading picture change right here. Now, this says right here, recommended size 1200 by 1200. I can promise you that is wrong. That is so wrong. It is really, really, really wrong. You can see right here, looking at my picture, that's nowhere close to a square. That's not a square at all. So, I've got no idea what that is. I tried to figure it out. This is at least twice as wide Actually, it looks 2.5 times as wide as it is tall. So if you're going to resize your photo, that's what I would go with. I would go with wider instead of tall. So if we're going to use 1200, if we say it's 1200 pixels tall, you want your width to be at least 3000, I would say. I'm guessing. I haven't gone through it yet to try and figure out exactly what the size is, but this preview here, this looks, I mean, this isn't quite a square either, but it's closer than what the other one is. So, but I would shoot for, if you're going to use 1200, I would go like 3000 by 1200. Shoot with that, see what happens. But you can change any of these pictures. So you got 5 pictures here. You just delete the ones that you don't want. So delete them out first, and then upload to re-upload new images. Then hit save and continue. They're pictures. It should go without saying. Make sure that you own the picture before you switch it out to something else. All right, now we're getting into the additional pages by default that it's going to create on your page. Your website will by default create 3 additional pages. One of them is what they call a company profile page. Another one is a contact form, and another one is an agent bio page. These can be done. However you want, so they don't necessarily have to be for that purpose. You can set them up however you want them to be, but that's just by default what they're labeled. So right here it's got navigation. Here are the 3 pages that I was telling you, and right now it's showing you the order that they're in, so you can change the order that you want them to go in just by dragging them around and moving them. So that's in the navigation. Search engine optimization. Page title. This is not this. This is the page title, but that's not what this field is. The page title is what's going to show up in the Google search. So the page title is going to be that clickable link that shows up in a Google search. The URL slug is what's after the slash here. So you can see here's your main URL, and then after this portion right here, that's the slug. So you can name your slug to be whatever you want it to be. It's not terribly important. I would just do something that is close to whatever the page is about. And then SEO description. This is the paragraph that is going to show up in your Google search. So when it shows up the Google search, this will be the title. You'll have the URL above it, and then it'll have like a paragraph underneath that briefly describes the page. That's what this is. That's what the SEO description is. So you want it to have keywords in it that a person would enter into a Google search that would display your site. So real estate agent in Albany, New York. That's what someone's going to put in a Google search. So you want those words to be in that paragraph, but you don't want to just put random words in that box. Real estate agent, Albany, New York. I'm awesome. Stuff like that. You don't want to just fill it with those kind of things. You want it to be logical. You want it to make sense. You want it to be an actual sentence. So that's what you put in that page. And now the content. So this is the content for this. The page header, this is there. So you changing this changes that right there. So label it whatever you want. Now, like I said, this doesn't have to be a company profile. I've seen people do a lot of different things with this. Me personally, I didn't like it, so I got rid of it. So you could delete it after you're done with this. If you can't think of it, I mean, I'll probably put it back in if I can think of something good for it. But if you can't think of anything to fill it in for right now, delete it, because this is how it's going to look. This right here, this is exactly how it will look on your live site. It will not be blank. It will be there, and it'll say enter quick description of your business. So if you don't fill it in, just delete it afterwards. So the page header is up there. Your intro paragraph down here. Section 1 headline, section 1 paragraph. You get a photo for section 1. Then there's a section 2 with the photo, the headline, and the paragraph. And then you got your footer. So footer headline, footer description. And then that is all the content for that. So fill those in however you want them to be. And then once you're done with that, you can hit continue. So the next page is your About Me section. Again, the search engine optimization is first. So fill all of that in. And then your content, you can do the page title. Then it's got your title here. Now, when I set mine up, I put licensed real estate salesperson. I put that at the bottom of every page. So every page has my license title on it, which is required in New York. So right here, your title, do I want that up here? Would you like to put something else there? Like I said, it's not labeled. It doesn't say, hey, what's your license status? So you could change that to whatever you want. It's not going to affect every other page on your site. So you could just change this if you want it to say something else. You want it to be your slogan, or you want it to be anything else. Your bio title right here, the bio that you input will automatically carry into that, and then your contact over here. So this one, it just says phone. It doesn't say what it is. In New York, we need to disclose if it's a cell phone or not. It doesn't always, honestly, it's not always going to give you the option to do so on every single page. It also doesn't have the dashes. This is not exactly what it looks like. So just because it was over there doesn't mean that that's how it was. But if we go to my actual contact, no, we're not on contact us. We're on our agent bio. About me. So this is what it actually looks like. All it says is phone. It doesn't say mobile phone, office phone. It doesn't say anything. It just says phone. So I put it in. I put C so that people saw that it was a cell phone. So like I said, that doesn't carry over to everything else. So what you change on this page does not affect everything else. You see right down here, it didn't change it at all. So so you can have all that in there. Once that's done, hit continue, and then it brings us to the contact us page, contact form. Same thing as before, search engine optimization, and then content. So content, there's an intro paragraph that shows up right there under the contact us. If you're not going to put anything, delete it, because whatever's in that box is what's going to show up. Now for the rest of these, once you click on this form, once the consumer clicks on the form, so we'll go to the actual page. Once the consumer clicks on this, it disappears. See? These all disappear. So you can't control any of these. You can't change this form. So if you wanted it to do something else, you can't. You can't change any of that stuff. First name, last name, email, phone number, that's what you're stuck with. The only thing you can control is this right down here, the message. You get a message hint right here. So what you type in here is what's going to show up. So this is the information that you're asking for. So these are the default. I didn't add this. These are the default questions that show up. Are you looking to buy or sell? What is your time frame? Where are you in your search? What is your budget? That was good enough for me, so I put it in there. If you want more information, go ahead and type more information in there. You can add anything on there, and that will disappear. So I have it here. Once they start clicking in, that disappears. So that is just a message hint for them. So you can put in there whatever information you want. Same thing down here at the bottom. It has a phone number, but it doesn't label it. The dashes aren't there, so I put the dashes in. I labeled it for mobile phone. Save and continue. And you're done. So that is it. Your site is done. Now you can hit X. Close out of that. And go back to agent site pages. And now yours, since you just set it up, will show you the contact us, the about me, and the about us page. Now, like I said, I don't like the about us page. I didn't set it up then. I can delete it. You don't like the other pages, you can delete them. You don't want any other pages on there, delete them. That's fine. You can just have your website be searched. Doesn't really matter. You don't have to have that stuff on there. You can delete whatever you want. So, just to play around with it a little bit, if we go to Site and App Settings, this is how you can quickly change certain things about your site. So that agent site hero text, you can change it right here. Those, which is the text that shows up on your main home screen. So there's your hero text. These pictures in the background. No, wrong one. I can close that. I don't need that anymore. So the pictures here, that you can do that there. This has app hero text. That's more app stuff. I'm not even talking about that. So you can change your subdomain here. It's got a custom domain. This looks like it's something that's coming. But right now you can just change right here. You can change your subdomain. And then these are links for your app again. Theme. Here's where you can change the theme. So you can change it to your... see, this doesn't look very pink on here. Let's see if I can update this and see if I can get it to change so that we can see it. So we'll go back to agent site pages. Configure your... No, that's not what I want. Right here to see your configured site. And it didn't change yet. So it'll take a little bit to change. So unfortunately we're not going to see it in this video. I don't know how long it's going to take to change. Maybe it didn't even register that I changed it, honestly. No, it did. It just didn't update it. It says, please be advised it can take up to 15 minutes for your new theme. It's never taken me that long for any of the other changes that I've made, but with the theme it might actually take that long. And then site pages. Here's where you can change. So like I said, you'll only have the 3 pages right here, but you can change the title, the slug, the SEO description, and right here again you can change the order of your pages, so you can drag these around wherever you want them to be. All right, and so that so that is step 1. Now that you've done that, you have set up your site. It is on, it is live, it is functioning. Now you can begin adding content to your site. You cannot add anything until it's on. Like you can't add blank pages and just not turn them on. It will literally not let you do anything until you actually turn your site on. So once your site is on, then you can begin adding content. So that is it for the video, and you can see my follow-up videos for how to add other types of content to your page. A little bit more interactive stuff, widgets, Google Forms, all things like that. So if you have any questions or comments, you can comment on this page. You can comment on the video, or you can email me at stevekeyes, Keyes, at kw.com. So thank you for watching, and that's all for now.